What's up, everybody? Welcome to this evening's Evesports EGL 1 2021 Season 2. We have got a very interesting game on our hands tonight. Lower bracket match. Nick, this is actually our first lower bracket game that we're casting. Somebody's going home this evening. Somebody's progressing through the bracket. We got a pretty entertaining game on our hands, if you ask me. How are you feeling about this one?
Dude, I'm super keen. Everyone loves that lower bracket action, you know, loser goes home, winner's able to book their next spot in the tournament. Obviously, both these teams already dropped down to the lower bracket after they lost in round one of the upper bracket. Now they're fighting for their life. You know, this is when we see teams fighting tooth and nail. This is when they, in the index of their strat book, looking at the Z little strats that they can pull out of the hat. And I mean, it's Intercaliber, it's Exdee Clubhouse 69, and I mean, it's a juicy one. It could go either way.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, let's first talk a little bit about the Exdee team, because it's public knowledge now that there's been some switch arounds happening with this team. We've basically got two Exdee teams that are competing in the tournament. We've got Exdee Clubhouse 69, and then we have Exdee Gaming. Now, the Exdee Clubhouse 69 are essentially becoming the new Exdee roster. They're signing BNY. as the fifth. I'm not sure. Looking at the list now, at the team, I'm not sure who's not featuring a part of that team in this list. Oh, BNY is right there. Okay, never mind. So there we go. We got the full 5 this evening for the Clubhouse team. So they're going to become the main Exdee roster, but for the duration of the Evesports event, they'll stay as Exdee Clubhouse 69, and the other Exdee roster will stay as Exdee Gaming, just to make things less confusing. So now that that's out the way, Intercaliber, a name that we haven't seen yet in the competition either, Nick.
Yeah, I think it's definitely that team where mad props to them. They're the team who's putting out content on YouTube, showing people how to take map control, obviously like really helping out the beginners. But I mean, obviously we don't need no beginners in the server today. We need people at the top of their game. That roster's blank. Salasite, Kira, Franks, Bitten, Flasher, Tubbs. Okay, that's 7 people. That's not 5. So nice to see the 5 of the server. I think Bitten's the type of guy who tears up his diamond game. So maybe he's going to be the star fragger. I know Salasite's not too bad. I think Blank is going to be taking up the EGL role. So I mean, it's interesting. We got the maps. I think it's Overpass, Inferno, and Train. And there's 2 extremely technical maps there.
Yeah, 100%, Nick. I couldn't agree with you more. We're starting things off with Inferno, which at this point in South African CS, every team should be competent on. Every team should know the basics and be able to compete with the opposition. It doesn't take too much to be good on Inferno, so I'm not surprised to see that pick coming through. That's from Exdee, and in fact, that's a map that I've seen them play a lot over the past couple of months. So yeah, no surprises there. Then Intercaliber actually pick Overpass, and Nick, normally when a team picks Overpass, that shows that it's definitely one of their core strengths and something they want to bring into the map pool. As you mentioned, a technical map in particular on the T side. There's so many options, but on the CT side, you've got plenty options for aggression as well. In fact, I think it's one of the most balanced and exciting maps to watch from a viewer point of view. So I'm really looking forward to that Overpass. Now, I'm not mistaken, I think it's the first time we're going to be casting an Overpass game in Season 2.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not really the map that you see come up super often. It's one of the maps that lends itself to like solo aggression plays. You think towards bathroom, towards long, especially as a CT. That's where you're going to see like a player getting 2 frags, not get traded, or how they're going to duck and weave around those sort of areas of the map. So this is going to be an interesting one. And we speak about the technicalities that has. It has quite a bit of similarities to Train. Obviously, Train's only going to be the 3rd map. So, I mean, if we're going to... We speak about this theme of every match just ending 2-0, so hopefully we'll see 3 maps tonight. But I think these 2 teams met each other early in the qualifiers, actually, and
Exdee Clubhouse
69 took the 2-0 victory. So it will be the question of whether Intercaliber can change things up tonight.
And it was actually a fairly comprehensive win as well that Exdee got over the Intercaliber team. And I think it's fair to say that in general, the names on the Exdee roster are of a slightly higher caliber or slightly more well-known names than you see on the... yeah, there we go. My one and done for the night. But you know, they're slightly more well-known names than the players over at Intercaliber, who seem to be some individuals who are, you know, starting to make names for themselves and stake their claims in their careers. The Intercaliber team's been competing in ESEA Intermediate actually. And if I remember, I think they were like 9th in the leaderboard. I'm going to be checking up again now, but they'd won a couple of their games and they were having some decent results. So, I mean, this team's competitive and I think they're working hard, Nick. So, this is a good opportunity for them to showcase their skills. Go up against a team who's as solid as this Exdee unit is, you know, overcome them and work on from there. And sort of, as I say, show some people what they're capable of.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be interesting if we see some players from this Intercaliber team and likewise from this Exdee team. You know, I mean, the Exdee team, as you said, a lot more of these players are a lot more well known throughout the scene. I think Creation and BNY are probably 2 names that jump out. And then on the Intercaliber team, if one of these players has an absolutely blinding performance, maybe there's some other teams that are going to be looking to fill the void of their roster with an up-and-comer inside of this Intercaliber team. Maybe they're a bit of a dark horse that we just don't know about just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to see that. I love seeing up-and-coming teams in South African CS, teams that are working hard, starting to make some names for themselves and, you know, moving from strength to strength. That's what you always want to see with these younger teams. And I say young, I don't mean the player's age, I mean the duration that the team has been together. I think this Intercaliber team has actually been together for a decent amount of time. I don't think it's a new project by any stretch, maybe a 2021 type of thing, so a couple months. And hopefully they go from strength to strength, right? And it looks like we're going to be kicking things off here, about to jump into round number 1 here on Inferno. We've got Intercaliber on the CT side, Exdee Gaming, or Exdee Clubhouse 69 on the T side. Their map pick as well. What have they got in store for the pistol round? I'm already seeing some util being bought up here. Got a smoke and 2 flashes. That's going to be on the Valorant player. Oh, wait, he plays CS now. I can actually call him by his real name again without vomiting. BNY.
Yeah. You have to give him the respect that he deserves now. The fact that he's in the roster, 2nd mid peak coming out of blank.
Nice.
He's going to open his account, a nice one-tap to open his account and open Intercalibur's account for this best of 3 series. As we said prior, the loser of this, they're out the tournament, Matt. They don't get their hands on the green. They don't get to face royalty in the next round. They're donezo after this.
Yeah, and no one wants to be in that position, Nick. It's just so early on in the competition. You want to try and have an impact, and this is an opportunity for Intercalibur. They got off to a good start in this round by finding that opening pick, but they've still committed just 2 players towards the B bomb side, and Flash is playing from CT, so he's going to be smoked off here as the smoke starts to come in. Going to probably reposition himself to coffins, but Salaside's going to be by himself for a while. Support flashbang comes through from CT. Salaside can't immediately capitalize on it, taking an extended duel with KZR. He's going to go down. So that's the frag Exdee needed to now secure the plant at the bare minimum, and it becomes a retake game for Intercalibur.
Ooh, and now just as Intercalibur got the opening frag, they're going to be fighting back, but they're actually going to get 2 frags going to go their way. Kira's going to open things up towards Banana. So now it's KZR and Beast trying to wrestle things back. Pushing the issue is the aforementioned Beast. He's almost going to get taken down towards family, and just like that, everything's done. Intercalibur. I was going to question their setup, but I mean, they won the round. So, I mean, it happened. It happens.
Oh man, they get across the line without much issue. Actually, that retake looked fairly simple. The frag coming in Banana, and then a second kill followed up after that was pretty much the done deal. You could see Beast was in no man's land, so he sort of had to try and, you know, get himself into a safer position. So he forces the fight there at the back of Church, but misses a bunch of his shots, as does Flasher. Eventually, Beast goes down, and the remaining player, I can't remember who it was. He pretty much stood no chance at that point. So it's going to be an eco round now from Exdee Gaming. And Intercala on the board, and Nick, there was a little bit of a, you could see that there was some thought to that pistol round there. They didn't just like post up on their angles and wait. There was a plan, and normally with these teams who have been together for a couple months, you expect those sorts of things where they can start to bring the gimmicks out in the pistol round and try and deepen the playbook a little bit more.
Yeah, it was just a bit unlucky. I think BNO was sitting around too long trying to revive his teammates or teleport somewhere else, or I don't know, make fake footsteps or something. But I mean, as you said, Intercalibur, they got the first round. They got a couple rifles on the board, 3 SMGs as well. No head armor on Flasher, so those P250s could do some extra damage. But Kira, he's only going to be one and done towards N1. Now the player gets taken down. Bitten, that is, towards Apps. And now Blank, who's over towards Arch, down to 15 points of health, and things are going bad to worse for Intercalibur.
Yeah, totally. I mean, this was an eco round to start off proceedings for Exdee Gaming, Exdee Clubhouse. My God, I'm going to keep saying that for the rest of the night. But they would have been contained with the bomb plants at the bare minimum. Now, all of a sudden, they're faced with the prospect of actually even winning this round. Salaside, coming from apartments, he's going to be the key in the round here, Nick. He's going to be up to the one to find a quick frag, create some space for his teammates to make their way up lane. Flashbang leads the charge. Now we see Salaside coming out of apartments, but he can't immediately find the kill. They know he's there, but he still finds the frag on Beast, runs out of ammo, tries to find Creation. He does not before Creation can find a pick though, and now it's just Salaside left, and he's going to go down to KZR. Big round from KZR there. The quad kill for him in the eco, and Exdee answer back immediately.
Yo, the quad kill on the eco. Now he's got 7k in the bank. I don't even think he had armor in that round. He just had the MP9 absolutely farming, or it felt that way. And as you were saying, I mean, Exdee, they didn't even invest that much. They had a couple players with armor, a couple players with deagles, P250s. They kept above that 2k mark, and they got themselves a round win. And now Intercalibur, you won the pistol round, you had a good start, and now you're wrestling from the bottom again. A full eco coming their way. The only noticeable gun on their side is that deagle on Kira, and hopefully you can get something done with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, a bit unfortunate for Intercalibur, all things considered, after winning the pistol round and then having a hard anti-eco practically and not able to convert it. I was a little bit suspect of the way that Bitten was playing it from apartments there. I think after you lose your teammate in lane, you can't really stay on the balcony there and try and cover both angles, because as we saw, you're so susceptible to the quick swing there from the T player who's crept up through Apps, right? Like, he wasn't at all aware of how far forward he actually was. So I think in those sort of situations, it's better to rather just back off and play from pits where you know you're safe and you've got cover. And KZR, he just carries on farming these players. Kyra wanted the knife, but ends up being found out. Was probably heard there because it looked like both of the players reacted. And KZR, man, he is just farming with that MP9. 3 more kills for him in this round, and TJ picks up 1 as well.
I'm just hoping Intercalibur don't come into the round buying. I don't want to see a full investment coming out from them. I just want to see some deagles that I'm just trying to manifest it. I'm just trying to.
No, I can see. You're sending the energy.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. This is what we wanted to see. The eco.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Inferno, it's one of those maps where map control is absolutely key. It's one of those maps where you think, if you want to explain someone map control and how it works in Counter-Strike, you use Inferno as an example.
Yeah.
You need that utility, you need those flashbangs, those Molotovs,
Absolutely.
those HEs, and Intercaliber, they've done their homework. They know what they need in the first buy round, but it should just be a 3-1 scoreline, and KZR's already on 10k, and he's keeping that MP9. Maybe he can farm some more.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt he's done with it just yet, considering what we saw from him in the 2 previous rounds. And Exdee just being slightly more tentative in this round. They don't know exactly what they're going up against, so just trying to find some information. I do like the attention to detail there. KZR just clearing out apartments. It's not just a commitment to the B bomb site from the onset. And there we go, creation, holding the angle. It was Intercaliber looking to try and regress into Banana, and they just get mowed down. But here's our boy KZR. Oh god, he gets decimated by the Desert Eagle or Kyra. And is it Kira? Do you know?
I assume it's Kira, but I could be
Kira,
wrong.
okay.
So I don't know. I mean, we'll wait.
Names are up to interpretation, right?
I agree. It's just it's a language, you know. Maybe it's
like if I want to pronounce your name Niix, I could.
Exactly. Maybe it's Eric. Actually, maybe it's one of those guys who have their name backwards.
Maybe
like
it's Zin.
Simply Ethan. Maybe it is
Eric. What's Eric?
No, as in his name backwards? Eric
Oh. I thought you were saying your name backwards, bruv. But
no.
Your name backwards is Zin, which is actually the name of one of the Clutch Kings players. Johan, actually very good.
I know dyslexic is spelled forward, just like it's spelled backwards, but I mean, come on.
Okay. Someone hasn't let him in on the secrets. First gun round here on Inferno, already being bought up by Blank. Where does he take that? Looks like he's heading towards the A bomb site. Maybe a peek in apartments, maybe a peek down middle. We have to wait and see. They've got their util, they've got the smokes, they've got their mollies. I'm keen to see how the CT side gets played out here by Intercaliber, and it's actually an early peek down mid from Blank. That's a peek James Bardolph absolutely hates, by the way.
Rip James Bardolph.
Yeah, he just thinks it's like such a high risk peak to make as the CT side, and it's not worth it type of thing. And I definitely understand it, because if you're posted on, you're pretty much walking into a crosshair, right? You'll always be there second.
Yeah, that's super rough. But I mean, with an AWP, he's actually Blank is currently aiming for LeBron James over towards middle. So we'll see if he's adjusted to more Steph Curry sort of art. Maybe Allen Iverson.
I saw the variation there. Come on, Nick. Those are 3 names that you know, right? You just wanted to get those up.
Going afterwards, I think
that's cool.
Tiger Woods play basketball?
Yeah, I knew you had another one in you. Oh, so it's actually just one player posted top banana here, Nick. It's Flasher. He's got that smoke, and he's just playing for some information here. They've cheated the extra player across. Interesting that he drops the molly top banana. Normally we see them retreat back onto B, and then once you see more presence, you use the smoke. If I said molly, I meant smoke. And now we're going to be seeing the rotation starting to be considered, but not committed to just yet. Still 4 players committed to this B-bomb side for Intercaliber. The A side, rather.
Ooh, the trades are going to go Exdee's way, but the question is, do they think that Salasat is still in the bomb site? He's going to be pressing it over towards N1, and there's a perfectly timed double peek. Good spacing on the run up there from Exdee. Meaning that it's Flasher, the player we were speaking about, anchoring towards the B bomb site. He's just going to be saving the M4. KZR is going to be the only one to fall. And if you're Exdee, hunt this guy down. I mean, look at the bank. KZR is pushing 10k. TJ and BNY are both at 7k. You can hunt this guy down. It's going to be worth it in the end.
Bro, that was a little bit problematic for Intercaliber. When you look at the setup, they had 4 of the 5 players ready and waiting on that A bomb site, and they only find 1 kill in their effort to try and stop Exdee from coming through. So they had the AWP, they had the util, they were posted on the angles, and they barely got anything done, which that kind of spells trouble, right? When you made the right read, you have the players rotated and they're in position, and you can't frag them. You can't find the frags necessary. I mean, we like I said, there is a bit of a disparity between the 2 teams right now, and in terms of the individuals on either side. But still early days. I have hope for Intercaliber yet.
Yeah, definitely still early doors, and maybe we'll see them. What a lot of teams nowadays are doing, like you didn't often see 3 players towards B early in the round back in the day, but now it seems to be the common theme for CTs on Inferno. There's often a player going towards that side of the map to what's called like bully banana. He's the guy who's going to just throw util. Beast is going to get a lovely 3k spray down towards middle, just farming those ecos. But I want to see what Intercaliber have got, what sort of variations they can pull out, because obviously they've lost the first power round, so it's not panic stations just yet. But if you lose the next buy round and you lose the next buy round, then what's going to happen? You know, what are you going to change? I mean, obviously, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broken, then surely something's going to change. But I mean, it's Flash again, last player alive, 1v5, winnable? No.
Savable? Absolutely. Needs to save this M4, take it into the next round. They've got that round loss bonus behind them now, maximum count, so they'll be getting the full $3,400 after losing this round. And I'm doing the maths quickly in my head here, and it means that Flasher will be able to afford the AWP, by the way. So it's actually vital that he saves this M4 to afford that AWP in the next round. But yeah, I agree with you. Next gun round, very important. It's important for Intercalibur to sort of make a mark in the half here and just show that they can be competitive. And now that they found Flasher out, you can bet your top dollar they are going to be hunting him like a pack of hounds.
Ooh, all 4 of them in the top left of the screen. All of them are coming. They're hungry. They're looking for blood. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Blood
as you said, a
sports is
Flash
the
should survive. Ooh, very nice, very nice.
And now there's
there he
blood on the
goes.
ground. There we go.
RIP.
So that's unlucky. I mean, I guess he could still afford the AWP for no problem for blank. But this is a big gun round, and it seems like 5-1's come upon pretty quickly. It's just been, Exdee keeping things pretty simple. It's not like they've been too aggressive and just rushing them down, but they haven't been too complicated in their approach either. So let's see what this round has in store.
Yeah, as the old saying goes, keep it simple, stupid, And if you're doing things right, you're doing things simply, and you're doing them well, you're going to find some round wins. And it actually is that there's going to be no AWP on the side of Intercalibur. 3 players over towards A, 2 players over towards middle, B rather, very, very standard setup. And the AUG's going to be perched up on blank, not the AWP. I want to see them perched up that AWP, because especially on a map like Inferno, you can aggro apps with it. You can solo banana with it effectively, right? If you're going to give up that early control, you can do so much with the AWP. It's so versatile. But the M4 can also do some work, as he's going to take down BNY Salazar.
Yeah, good pick. Evening out the numbers. There's a frag that was found in Banana, so that just does keep things, I think probably in Exdee's favor right now. We generally talk about 1-for-1 trades favoring the T side, and they've got a lot of Banana control. In fact, I'm quite surprised that Intercalibur have opted not to rotate the extra player across after getting that information. And it's not even like there's a quick rotate from anybody, or like there's Util on the B-bomb side. Flash is going to have a massive job on his hands once this execute comes through.
I just think if you're KZR, you've got to throw Util towards A to keep those 3 players there. But unfortunately, the timing is going to elude him towards bottom middle. But I mean, Flasher, he's going to be in no man's land. He's solo on the B-bomb site. He's playing towards the Bentet angle. His head can't be spotted. He's going to be good for 1. Duck and weave. Flasher's coming in from his teammates. Oh, the double dunk!
Oh, whoa. Massive nade there from Blank as he picks up both of those kills. Courtesy of both Flasher and Salazar for chipping them down. And now it's Beast left in the clutch. Only 15 seconds left. He wants to force the angle here on Kyra. Going to be coming around the corner, gets the kill. But surely there's no world in which he wins this round. Has to commit to the plant, but they'll be forcing the issue. Surely they charge him down and deny it. Good work there from Bitten and Blank, recognizing they didn't have to try and wait. They knew even if one of them died, the trade was always on the table. And Intercalibur are back on the board.
Flasher doing God's work on B. I mean, he got 1.5 frat or 190% of 2 kills. And I mean, things just went really well. And the double dunk came in from Salazar, I believe. So things turned around pretty quickly for Intercalibur. We thought that round was looking pretty grim.
Yeah.
At best, I mean, Flasher did go 1-for-1 in B, which is like worst case scenario. But then the double dunk came in and things just going Intercalibur's way. But now we need to see more of that. We need to see them stringing rounds together, because looking at the bank of Exdee, it's still really, really, really good.
It certainly is. There's money for days on that team. I want to be friends with those guys.
I need a new pair of shoes. That's what I need.
Yeah. I mean, Nick, BNY is $10,000. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. But big round here as the execute once again starts commencing towards top middle, looking to try and take brackets control. Seems like there is a bit of a crossfire here towards Archers. And they're still hanging around. They got the bait and switch going. It's Kyra baiting for Salazar. Kyra will go down. Salazar able to... Oh my god. The twitchy spray through the smoke. He finds another one, Blaze. Blank also capitalizes, but then KZR flexes on these guys and absolutely decimates them, bringing it back into the 2v1. And now it's Flasher on the clutch.
Oh, baby. Flasher 1v2. You know, all I'm saying is he added me on Twitter to scream his name.
Oh.
So, I mean, if he doesn't do it now, then I don't think it's going to come. That's what I'm saying.
I think he's got to
the prime
buy you dinner before you scream his name.
I mean, we'll see how that goes. Depends if he wins this 1v2 clutch, then maybe I'll be buying him dinner. But I mean, Crossfire said, timing's not going to suit him. And KZR, another big round coming from him. 3 frags coming out from him. He's an absolute blinder starts this game, 12-5. And again, into Caliber, only able to get one gun round, and unfortunately, they're staring Nico in the face once more.
Yeah, and again, winning a round and then immediately being reset thereafter, and with so much money on the Exdee side, that's not how Intercalibur are going to be getting back into this. They need to string some rounds together here, Nick, and they need to start putting some pressure onto this Exdee economy, because right now it's spiraling out of control, and they're looking very comfortable on this T side. They went straight back to their bread and butter, taking brackets control, working into the AA exec after they lost that previous round towards the B-bomb site. So that's probably going to be the theme here. That's definitely where they found majority of their success in this first half.
I respect XD. They know they're on pistols and they're still taking apps. I respect it. A 4-man A stack is going to crumble beneath Intercalibur's feet as there's only 2 players alive on that A side of the map. Salasite is going to inquire towards Banana.
Yeah.
Couple shots peppered down range. BNY is going to get that information. Flasher's attacking down a low HP creation. So, I mean, there's a world where if Flasher gets this frag, he's able to stay alive and Ab's able to upgrade to the AK. But, I mean, his teammates are just falling down around him. So, he is going to get that AK. But, I mean, it's still 4v2. Looks like it's going to be another one of these rounds.
Man's got big balls. He flashes over the top and he wants to try and take the fight here. If I have an AK on the CT side, best believe I'm heading in the opposite direction. Salasite, he can hang around you, of course, because he...
Did I time out or did Matt time out? I think Matt timed out. That's super Luko. Lushko. But I mean, it's Flasher left in the 1v4. And as Matt said before he unfortunately left us, he's just going to be saving us AK. So, it happens. A 7-2 scoreline going the way of Exdee Gaming. And again, Intercalibur just unable to have any sort of mainstay in this map so far. Flasher, he is going to be able to save that AK, which is actually really big real estate, considering he could drop over an AWP, keep that AK up, get that full belt utility, everything gonna go super, super well. But actually, he's actually not going to choose to drop it over. Blank is actually going to full purchase it, so that's super Lushko. But I mean, it is what it is. Blank's got that AWP, and it will be super interesting to see where he decides to go with it. Another peek down middle seems to be the case. Is he going to get some information? He's not going to get anything. Just going to pepper a shot down range and get out. So it's going to be another 3-2 setup for the CT side. TJ going to be entertained towards Banana. First one going to go his way. Salasite going to get taken down. And again, another opening frag. Going to go the way of Exdee. Kira almost caught a no man's land towards Boiler. And just seems like Exdee, they've just got Intercalibur in their pocket right now. Exdee are just completely outplaying them. Really, really unusual for Intercalibur. Just seem to be out of their depth at the moment. Hopefully they can string a couple rounds together. Hopefully they can make this as competitive as possible. But it does look like Exdee seems to be pretty polished. Seems to be pretty decent coming into this. But one thing Intercalibur are struggling to do is they're forfeiting brackets and Banana really way too easily for the T's. I mean, Exdee pretty much, they got the opening frag Banana, which is fine, it happens. But then what you got to do if you're on A, you got to reaggress somewhere, you know, you got to get information somewhere. That's what Kira's done. He's over towards Boiler, but I mean, he's in no man's land. He's behind a smoke. Hopefully he can get something done. But I mean, he's going to get all this info apps, and Flash has taken down TJ, so, ooh, okay, Blank, I see you, Blank, I see you. One more for the boys? Surely. Go back for more, brother. But now it's a 2v4. Just as I was saying, that Intercalibur don't know what's cracking. I mean, Flasher doesn't know what's cracking, which means the bomb's going to get planted on B, and a possible round where it could be on the cards for Exdee, all things considered. 2 players coming fast, Banana, but Creation seems to have no possible idea. Tim, look behind you, brother. Now it's BNY, the Valorant player. No teleportation, no reviving of teammates is going to be on the cards. Peppering some bullets down range. A good double peek coming out from Intercalibur, which means they're going to post their 3rd round, and a much needed gun round is going to be on the boards. And Lushko. Super rip and pips. Infer, no, for Intercalibur right now. They're actually going to call attack. Gotta respect it. I mean, I think Matt's internet needs attack. Seems like it just took one. Just seemed like everyone had the vote. It's a bit rough. But I mean, having a look at the scoreboard, KZR 15 for 7, absolutely blinding start. Other players up there, I mean, Blank is 8 and 7. He's the top performer for Intercaliber. Pretty much it's just KZR on the side of Exdee. He's got a blinding start compared to the rest of his teammates. Creation, the second closest, 8 and 6 with 4 assists. So, I mean, 94 ADR. Tim, pick up your game, bruv. It's not good enough. No, I'm kidding. 7-3, the scores on the doors. There's a double nade pitched up. Surely there's double nade coming out for the boys. Surely. Nice molly, nice molly. On the apps? On the apps. See what Intercaliber have got in store. I mean, they've thrown the one-way top banana, which hasn't been something that they've done too often. They cheated a player early over towards that side of the map early. Oh, Blank. He's 2 HP. That's rough. Got shot through the smoke. Unlucky. Super upsetting. Ace brother. But brackets control is going to go the way of Exdee. And again, like, even though Intercaliber, they just don't have any information towards Banana. They're bunkering on the bomb site. A nice sheer aggression coming in from Salasite, but it's alone. He's only going to go 1-for-1. And even though he's got the information, things just aren't going to go his way. So now, I mean, if you're Intercaliber, you have to re-aggress somewhere. You have to get some information. You have to have some sort of idea of where Exdee are going. Because if you're just going to let them have a 4v4, they're going to pick your part. Kira's caught in transition, which means KZR is going to open his account for this shot. And now the only person on the bomb site is Bitten, and his head has just been ripped off by the aforementioned KZR. And if you're Intercaliber, you're saving these rifles. Big Anlushko. And I mean, only thing I have to say for Intercaliber, like, Inferno is definitely a map about map control and about information. You got to re-aggress when you if you lose Banana, you have to re-aggress brackets and get some information. If you lose brackets, you can re-aggress Banana, maybe have some sort of apps play. All that sort of stuff is extremely pivotal. If you're just going to sit on the bomb sites, if they're going to flash off an angle Banana and you're going to give up Banana for flashbang for argument's sake, then you may as well just forfeit defeat in that round just as it is. I mean, TJ is going to be hunting for these. Flasher, eventually going to take him out. But I mean, again, Exdee, super, super solid start in this. 8-3 is going to be the scores on the doors. This is going to try and hunt down these last Intercaliber players. 8-3 on the T side of Inferno. It's that map where it's become more and more T-sided as time has gone on. It used to be back in the day, super CT-sided. Everyone would talk about hopefully get like 9-6 on the CT side. Some sort of that. But I mean, as the meta's changed, as the utility game has completely changed in Counter-Strike pretty much as it is, you see a completely different thing. I like this from Intercaliber, taking things into their own hands. Aggro towards middle. Blank is peering towards second middle. He's actually going to nade in response towards the bottom of middle, and he's going to get out of dodge. Trying to get an early pick, but Exdee, they're just not taking the bait. But as I was saying, I mean, it used to be a map where relatively CT side, you seem like you could get a kill, bunkering bomb sites and whatnot, but now as the T side has evolved, just the way that the utility game has been changed, and the fact that the T side have to wait for the CTs to take aggro pretty much. I mean, if you're a CT, for argument's sake, and you just give Banana, if you're a T, you pretty much take Banana just for a Molotov top car, you know, it's stuff like that. But that's where the aggression has to come in from the CTs, like Bitten taking down KZR with the molly in his hand with this aggro apps play, which big fan of, by the way. Now there's a top Banana setup, a bit of bait and switch. Flasher playing on the angle, but now Salasite, he's left in no man's land. He's in the smoke behind the sandbags. The question is, does he get cleared? Because if he doesn't get cleared, oh, he's been spotted. There's one frag, there's two frags, and that's the B bomb sites now vacant. So that means Exdee, they can just run into the bomb site for free, and if you're Intercaliber, you shouldn't really be attempting this retake because it's a bit rough. No one likes retaking B on Inferno. And even on retakes in the 5v4, you know, it's rough. No one likes it. Boring. BNY's cheating, dude. He's used his whatever that guy's ulti is on Valorant, where you can check oaks through walls. I don't even know what that oak's name is. I know you guys cameras. That's all I know. I want to say crypto, but it's definitely not crypto. What? I don't know. But I mean, BNY, Valorant player, the OG. I respect. But 9-3 scores the doors, and I mean, Exdee, they're pretty much running away with it as things stand. It's Cypher. That's true. That's true. But in all honesty, no one cares about Valorant, let's be honest. What a horrible game. Dog game. The worst thing about Valorant is that you can't just have a player who does everything, you know? Nice, KZR. Nice, Beast. Nice. Let's go, boys. 1 minute 35, 20 seconds are gone, and Exdee already 2 up. 2 men up, that's what I'm trying to say. Valorant, horrible game. Just saying, if any one of my friends this is a big threat right now because it's a pleasure that you are my friends list. Just saying. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but if you play Valorant, you're getting right out of there. So it's a good thing actually Cahill came back from Valorant. Otherwise, I would have had some choice words for the lad. That's all I'm saying. And if Cahill's watching, he knows that he's now an educated man. He now knows what's cracking. Only play on the bomb site's Flasher. He's been spotted out, mollied out, flashed out. I don't know what another thing they're out. In and out. In and out. I haven't had in and out before. I'd love some in and out. If anyone's had in and out, let me know how it is, because I know this is that big conversation in the US. What's better, like in and out or Shake Shack? I haven't had any of those. I'd like to try some in and out. So I mean, buy me something, please. Surely, for the boys. Oaks, all I'm saying is I've seen absolutely zero support in chat. That's all I'm saying. Absolutely zero support for any of these teams. So surely, let's try and make up some rhymes. What rhymes with J? Never mind. I was gonna say what rhymes with J, but day rhymes with J. Spam this day to help TJ. Oh, that's a good one. What about BNY? Y fly. Spam this fly to help BNY. Oh yes, that's a good one. Oh, blank. Firing blanks, bro. No one likes to be firing blanks. It's 2021, bro. Come on. Can't be doing that. Beast. What rhymes with beast? Feast. Yeast. What else rhymes with beast, bro? I don't even know. Spam them, Creation. Nice! Nice! Let's go, baby. Creation's got 2 on the spray through the wall. This man's cheating. Tim! Come on, get the 3rd, bro. Nice. There's the 3rd. Easy peasy. Creation creating problems for Intercaliber. How's that? I bet you Oaks haven't had that one before. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's Bitten? Mitten. Bitten. I don't even know what is mitten, bro. I swear it's like, isn't that thing you open the oven with? Isn't that a mitten? Maybe it's the gloves you wear on a cold winter's day. What is a mitten, dude? Surely someone can hook me up with that, bro. Spam this yeast to help beast. Flasher. Crasher. Masher. What about blank? Flank. Watch out, blanks on the flank. That's very dank. Coming out for a spank. Oh no, Oaks, this is what solo casting does to you. It makes you go insane. What about KZR? R far. Car. No, I don't know, dude. Mittens are gloves. I knew mittens were gloves, bro. I just doubted myself. Dude, Beast is cheating. Beast is having a feast while he's rapping about yeast with the AWP on Inferno T-side. How's it? Oaks, I'm just saying, Love Island South Africa is not worth the watch. I've tried it out. Bang average. The editing on it is genuinely atrocious. It's actually worse than Blaze's videos. Like, the editing on Love Island's genuinely worse than Blaze's videos. Like, how crazy is that, bro? And I mean, it's not hard to be worse than Blaze's videos, bro, because Like, yeah. You know what I mean, bro? I mean, I'm kidding. Blaze has got some sick YouTube content. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even focusing on cracking, bro. I mean, Flash is getting a couple frags. Very nice. KZR's on 21 HP. Probably not going to win the round. I was supposed to scream Flasher when he has a sick round, but I mean, 30 seconds left, KZR. What rhymes with R, dude? R, car. Mid-mar. Ah! Come on, frag him, bro. Make it the 1v2. Make it the 1v1. 10 seconds left, okay? 11-4 is going to be a halftime score. Just go open the door before you hit the floor. There's the score. Oh my days. Dude, Oaks who hate on Love Island just have never watched it before. That's all I'm saying. Just give it a chance, dude. Come on, Oaks. Okay, so let's play some bets, bro. Strat roulette for the boys. Trillage, Rush B. Quick CT smoke, 2 God flashes, hit the site, right? Right. Let's spectate blank. Okay, he's doing 2 window flashes. I like it. There's 1, there's 2. Yes, y'all know like Hazard's beast. He's blind, but he doesn't care. He's got 1, he's got 2. KZR. He's also got 1. Beast, he's going to be re-peeking. Hazard, KZR. Hazard Oaks, my name's KZR, and Kira runs into my bullets, and I'm going to take blank down with me. And 12-4 scores on the doors. Things not looking too great. Things aren't looking too great if you're into caliber. You know, you're not up to the same caliber as Exdee. Exdee. And that was the X and the D. You know, the X, the capital D. I mean, see what happens. Come on, Oaks. Give me something. Give me something cool. I haven't seen anything cool. Unless they win this Glock round, then I'll probably shave my head, bro. If they win this Glock round, that's all I'm saying. Don't quote me on that, because it's... I'm petrified now, actually. I'm absolutely shaking in my boots. No ways they win this Glock round. Nah. BNY's fragging, bro. 1, 2, 2.5, 2, 3. Nice. I'll keep my hair, bro. Let's go, Oaks. I risk a lot. Speaking of, I don't know, bro. Come on, Intercaliber. You got the bar, boys. You got the bar. How are you going to take banana? They got 2 X going there. Salicites and blank hazards. Okay, nade towards top middle. Fan of that. Smoke top banana. Also fan of that. Big fan of that. Okay. I like it. You got banana. Now, how are you going to take brackets, bro? Are you going to take brackets? You're going to go apps or you're going to go into brackets? The question. Going to go into apps with 3, okay? And I saw flash from flasher. Don't ever throw that flash. It was a horrible flash. Ever. Again, please. Thanks. So now you've got banana. Now you're going to go take brackets. You're going to take apps, though. Which is rough, considering you know you're against SMGs. But, I mean, if it works, it works. Am I right or am I right? Okay, so you still got banana. If you're Exdee, you still have 0 info. Besides the fact that you've been pushed off of brackets, even though you haven't really been pushed off of brackets because you haven't. Okay, so now you got in for brackets. TJ's bound to smoke. Surely he pushes through, right? Come on. For the boys. Hey, you're hearing gang sound cues, bro. Get that rotate over towards A. Nice. And now if you're in Excalibur, you started stressing, bro. The knees weak, the arms are heavy, mom spaghetti. Creations on the floor already. Oh my goodness. Someone sign me to a record label or something. Beast, last play on the site. Salicite's low HP, but the Salicite clear. Beast, he's got the info. Salicite is in the ground. Okay. Now. Oh, KJ, this looks literally like, he's literally cheating. He's literally got hacks, bro. Kira, he's got 1. No time to plant the bomb. If you were Exdee, you should have killed him after time, but we won't talk about that.
Hi, Niix. How are you, sir?
You came to save me. I appreciate it.
I came to save you. I'm here.
I respect
the man in the Buttfighter shirt has arrived.
Could be worse, eh? Could be a United shirt. Or an Arsenal shirt.
South African internet strikes again.
That happens, eh?
It looks like I've joined you at the end of the map where Exdee is just absolutely smashing. 14-4.
Exdee
and you're doing some MM casting over there.
No, why not, eh? Why not drop some bars on the viewer's corpse, Nice. Let's go. TJ, nice. One. Do the smoke. Do the smoke. Give me another. Give me another. Rip.
I've been informed I was on the wrong mic. I hope I've
it sounds about 1,000,000 trillion times better now.
Okay, if that's that, this webcam, it just kind of takes over. Sorry about that, but I am here to save you, sir. So you shan't go down alone in the trenches, guts spilling out, pecked at by the birds. We won't leave you in that state. We'll come and jump in. How you doing?
I mean, I'm better than Salazar is, eh? I'll tell you that much.
This looks like actually, we picked this game up because based on the rosters, we thought it would be a little bit closer, but Exdee not even making a meal of it here. 15-4. This is all but over. And who's leading the charge but KZR?
KZR, he's just vibing, bro.
27 for 10, 144 ADR, 144 ADR, Nick.
Dude, KZR is feeling it. Dude. And as the age-old saying goes, you can never stop a man when he's popping. And Intercaliber, they have absolutely zero response. Except for Bitten putting a lead in his head. That's what I'm trying to say.
I saw some casters, Chris, coming out to bite you. It is a 3-on-4 here. Intercaliber doesn't have too many options. Look at their HP. Not the best util either. Only 2 smokes really to set themselves up. And already it looks like the guys over at Exdee have this completely red. There is one player though moving back towards A, so it is a 2v3. Maybe Intercaliber can get themselves a consolation round over here. But in the other side, just need to be a little bit careful with their lives. How much util is actually available on this bomb site? Creation's got nothing. BNY, he's actually sitting pretty. He's still got his full set from the start of the round. So there's a flash is going to come in, and actually he's going to pull a nade at the wrong time, but it doesn't matter because Creation is there, and he's going to pick up the first. Now both of them strafing into the open. He goes for switch out on the AWP. That was very strange.
I was just about to say, like, if you were Intercaliber in that scenario, you just got to contact. As soon as you get contact, then you molly and then you flash and whatnot. But I mean, things just weren't going Intercaliber's way, and they lose 16-4 on the first map, which is super rough considering it wasn't their map pick. It wasn't, but it wasn't. I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
Is very convincing though. It's not like a 16-10 or something, where you can see flashes of brilliance or moments of competition. That's just kind of stomped. It seems we're going over to office now, so we're going to literal level CS. I don't know what Josh is doing on the map. He is the controller at the moment, so I'm sure he's going to change it in the next few seconds. But before we get into that, we do still have a giveaway to do today. What are we going to be giving away today, Mr. Niix?
One of these, bro. I'll these,
right there. Thank you. I actually don't know which side of the stream I'm on. Maybe it's that way.
I don't know.
That shirt, I'm looking at him right now. It's absolutely fantastic. If you want to just get up and do a little spin for us as well, that'll be great.
There we go.
There we go. As you can see,
I don't want to show people my smiley pants shorts over here.
I really want to show people your smiley pants shorts.
That's why I don't want to get up.
Because later we're going to be raffling off a date with Mr. Niix in the semifinals. So come and join us for that.
Getting your hopes up.
A nice dinner date evening with the man himself. He'll be wearing the exact same cap and shorts, we promise.
Yeah, no one's seen the
probably have a royalty shirt on, unfortunately.
Whoa! Whoa! I mean,
but royalty aren't in this one, are they? Next, it's Radna, Exdee, Clubhouse, and Intercaliber. I mean, I wasn't here for most of the first map. I must apologize. I'm dealing with a bit of an old injury, but man down. But what exactly, transpired? You just seem to be quite casual about it when I did come back to it, like it was a foregone conclusion. I feel like just Exdee is just better.
I feel like you know what happens when you're in the stack of your mates, and you're all like Nova 2, and you really want to have a good matchmaking experience. But then you match up against like Fady and Mistim, you know? And then and then you quickly take a photo and put it on the South African Counter-Strike Facebook group because MM are so scuffed. Because
I saw that post. I know
you just
exactly which
lost.
one you're talking about.
Because you just
Where it
lost
was
so
the-
badly. So
He
it's
was
super
only
upsetting.
MG2, and everybody else was like Supreme and Global on his team, and so they found Supreme and Globals as you would, because it takes your overall and puts that forward into the raffle. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's super rough, but I mean, before we go to a break, surely we open up the giveaway for the people.
Well, this is what we've been doing. We've been opening up this giveaway,
Well then,
and showing them the shirt. So actually, to enter into the chat or enter into the giveaway, you got to put Yorba in the chat, lowercase, uppercase, doesn't matter. Any way you want to do it, just throw Yorba into the chat, and then you'll be entered into that giveaway. Please don't enter it twice, because then you'll throw your entry out into the wind, the same way that Niix threw out his common sense.
I mean, I can never win today. I can't win. I always do everything wrong.
No, you don't.
People. I mean, depends.
No, you don't. But yes, guys, Yorba entered into the chat, and we do have shirts in all sizes. Trust me, all sizes. There's a very large gentleman that works at EveTech that I saw in the shirt, and it fit him quite comfortably. So you should be more than okay. I would hazard a guess. And yeah, they're quite premium, breathable material. It's a good time.
Big fan of them. Big fan of them. Big fan of them. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. By the way, Oaks, we're gonna go to a break, and we'll catch you guys in a couple minutes, and we'll be back for map number 2, which is Overpass between Excalibur and Exdee, and we'll see if we'll go to 3 maps, but catch you guys in a bit.
Good evening, welcome back to the EGL 1 Season 2, where we are in the middle of a game between Caliber and the Exdee Clubhouse 69. The returning bullies that just refuse to retire. They keep saying that they're going to disband and retire, and then we see them again the next year, probably under a different banner. But this time, they've stayed in the Exdee Clubhouse. It's kind of like Old Guys Club South Africa, except it's called Clubhouse 69. Got to give them points for originality on that one. But Niix, are we expecting anything here on Overpass? It is an extremely technical map.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they've got a Valorant player. Like, surely, if you're into Caliber, you got to get some sort of result here. But I mean, as you said, it's overpass and it's an extremely technical map. As a CT, you can have quite a lot of success. As a T, the exact opposite. You can feel like you're running into walls. If you get like util down trying to take short control, you can't really exit B. If you get picked off early when you're trying to get into party and towards fountain, then you can't really hit A. So it's all going to come down to the sort of extremities of the map and how they can keep control of those. Like if you're in the CT side, which you see a lot of people do nowadays, just sit in a deep monster smoke, get a flash over far towards monster, over towards connector and in underground, that sort of area. How do those duels fare out? Long is another area where the AWP can just train and leave that guy for the whole round, and he'll do his good work. But I mean, I don't know. Considering Intercaliber's performance on Inferno, it's sort of like a much more basic map. Obviously, they picked Overpass coming into the second, so maybe they've got something up their sleeves.
I hope it's not just B rushes continuously, because that tends to be like the pubby strat. You know, you even see it on high level faced stuff. It's a lot of B rushing that happens generally in South Africa. It is a little bit easier to approach than A is generally, and it's kind of weird because, you know, looking at the international scene, they tend to, if they do even push into mid, as they go up to into mid, get the info, and then retreat all the way back to the bomb site. And usually the T's get pretty free real estate, at least until bathrooms, you know, and top of connector and that sort of stuff. It's very difficult to support connector or support mid there effectively. So we'll have to see how, like you say, how they play it. I hope it's not just a bunch of B rushes, but just some more kind of feather in the cap is Exdee Clubhouse made the top 6 last season, so they actually this exact roster actually went pretty damn far. And they had some pretty stellar performances. I remember some disgusting deagle work from Mr. KZR happening over on Mirage in one of their games as well. So I'm looking forward to them pushing forward, and they actually did like us a really big favor by completing that season. They were actually looking to bow out a bit earlier than that, and maybe staying in is what convinced them to stay together, and that's why they're here again today.
Maybe they just never gonna retire. Maybe they're those people who are like, yeah, I'm gonna retire, and then everyone's like, nah, please don't retire, and then they don't retire, and
like
then
2 months
like,
break,
hey, we're
and
back. Yeah,
and
exactly.
And the itch is back.
You
know?
you get the twit longer that literally says like, Oaks, I have retired. I'm done with Counter Strike. And then 2 months later, hi guys, I left T, Prem Div experience, first Div experience, and then you know they was coming back. But I mean, Intercaliber, as Matt was saying earlier, they sort of that younger team. When you speak about young, not as in the individual players, as in the team itself, as in a full 5, new org, new team. Maybe they've got some more sort of like foundations for the future. Maybe they built that sort of thing up, and maybe we'll see them if they can take down the scalp of Exdee and even take this to 3 maps. I mean, massive kudos to them. It's Overpass, we were speaking about it, super technical, super tough. It lends itself to solo CT plays, you know, over towards long, hiding behind trees and whatnot, and solo aggression towards bathrooms, or solo play and underground, stuff like that. Short boosts are going to be what we're seeing quite often. The player towards barrels in the B side, he's going to be that anchor. He's going to be looking to frag out. But as you were saying, the B rush, if the B hold is really weak from the CTs, then I mean the Ts can just can abuse it over and over and over again.
And the thing I really like about the B rush as well is if you fail monster, you still have the option to go water into connector, and you can still push out onto A. You can also just create presence there, you know, even going through lowers and creating some presence there can net you dividends in water. If there is a CT that's pushed up in there early, then you can distract him and that sort of stuff. But before we theorycraft further, just a reminder, guys, there is a giveaway going on at the moment for one of the awesome shirts that my cohort over here is wearing. Please enter Yoba in the chat. Please only do it once as well, and then you will be entered into that giveaway. But without further ado, it looks like, yes, we're going into the knife round for sides. I think Inter's probably gonna come back, Nick. I think.
Dude, I was in my high school days right there when Oaks are like jamming, watching first team rugby, and everyone's going, Ayoba, Yoba, Yoba.
Which is not Ayoba. So I think the guys over on Intercaliber are probably. Do you think they're gonna want CT or T first?
CT, 100%. 100% CT. I mean, everyone loves a bit of CT, you know? Everyone loves a bit of CT in the morning, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think it is think it is Intercalibur's pick. So I'm pretty confident Exdee have choice of sides. So because of that, if you're Exdee, surely you just pick CT, right? Surely. And then you want pistol, things are going well. I mean, they are starting on the CT side. I mean, the match is live, I repeat. The match is live. So it would be an interesting one to see.
It was almost a 5FM Roger Good radio show voice. I'm quite proud of you.
Just
Not
need
bad.
to insert an ad of some sort, you know? Like
Colgate.
just after a newsread. Colgate.
There we go.
Colgate,
and into pistol round we go, and it looks like it is going to be a lowest push, but the CT's already in position here. Creation gets his head ripped off, but they go straight to the door, turning their back to the rest of the team. BNY and Beast make them pay for it, and they trade 2 back. Now there's only 3 T's left, but they've made it onto the B bomb side, but the boost coming in from KZR, he does get taken down from Salazar by Salazar on the B side, but they have bomb in lowers do the CTs, and it's just Salazar left. He does manage to gush one up. It is now TJ who's going to be retreating on a whole 4 HP, but he hasn't lost his life, so the presence is still there. Salazar now going to make his way back through water. It looks like he's going to try and contest there, but there's 2 CTs with armor, or at least one of them with armor, so it should be almost a foregone conclusion.
I don't see a way in which Salazar wins this round, dude. Like, they've got 3 players in lowers. I mean, they can peek off one another. If Beast gets contact, they can double peek towards lowers. I mean, there's no real way in which he can come to retrieve the bomb, and that's exactly what happened. Beast and his teammates are going to double peek. TJ is going to survive on 4 points of health. He did get gushed up, which means he still does have those 100 points of armor, which means buying that head armor is only $350, and everyone enjoys that. When the pistol round's done, you got a couple frags. You still keep your head armor. I mean, your body armor, and then you can buy up that helmet for cheap, you know, as if you're getting it from a sponsor shop on the side of the road, you know, easy peasy.
100 cement, 350 USD is quite a deal, so that you don't have to suffer 9 mil through the eye hole once again. And it looks like the T's are now going to hedge their bets on a long push. There's not going to be actually anybody in there initially. He's got something. He does the pop flash. They're all flash. They're all spamming at him. He does manage to get one, but he gets taken down by Bitten. He gets the first kill on the opening of the round once again. And it does look like they are going to make it to the side, if only. But if there's an M4 awaiting and another man towards Optimus, who's BNY, he's going to get one. He swings out. He gets a second. KZR chimes in for one of his own. Blank, the only one left. And he gets taken down.
Blank is firing blanks, bro. I know I used that joke in the first map, but I mean... It is what it is. Full Glock Eco going to go the way of Exdee Gaming. And I mean, Creation, he's purchased up that body armor so he can purchase up that Scout because he knows the full gun. Okay, never mind. Clearly, he doesn't know the full gun run's coming because he purchased up head armor afterwards. I was about to be like, yeah, you know, buying body armor doesn't need the head armor because up against the AKs, but it's just not the case. It's just not the case. Full AK round coming out from Intercaliber. Flash is going to pepper some shots down range, trying to get that short spam going. And as we were speaking about before, it's super interesting how these 2 teams are going to take control of water, short, low, underground, long, all those sort of areas, how they're going to choose to apply this. And it does look like Exdee are setting up for a late flash play. 3, 2, 1 flash. They bang. Oh no, they're not blind. Not a good flash. I would be mad. I'd start raging. I'd say they're not blind. What flash are you throwing? You absolute beep, you know? Yeah, absolutely.
TJ actually frags KZR, so he switches teams there momentarily, becomes a 6v4, which doesn't go very well for our CTs, but a good flash comes in, and RC breathing life into their T half here. They have managed to be able to get themselves onto the site. They're pushing forward even further. Kira able to get another one, which is good for them because now it's just Beast left, and he's got a 1v4 to win over here. He walks into water. He does manage to get one, but at the cost of 87 hit points, only 13 left. He's going to get flashed out, and there's not going to be any peaks coming through from Intercaliber. They're just going to slow things down so they don't give away any more guns because they need to keep some economy, but Beast is not going to let them sit there just idly, and he takes the head off Flasher. He flashes himself in as he tries to push up onto the side, but Blank is waiting, and he does manage to clean things up. They lose 3, but do manage to get the bomb and the round.
I mean, when I saw Beast in that 1v4, maybe even a 1v5, I don't know. I was like, bro, you got to save. You know, your team's not going to have a greatest investment coming into the next one. And that's exactly why they're going to just choose to eco after this couple upgraded pistols. The Scouts on the side of Beast. BNY is going to go towards that 5-7. Literally thinks he's playing Valorant. Literally horrible game. Every time I have an opportunity to destroy that game, like Salazar just destroyed Beast, you know, I'm going to take the opportunity to do so.
And he needs to be careful because Creation is doing a sneaky one here at the tree. He might just keep pushing here and give his life up for free. Top raps. I'm going to rap battle the Dexo next. After this cast. It's going down. But just a pistol round here for the counter-terrorist. It should be a foregone conclusion unless Creation can get creative here in mid. He's going to be able to walk up on the timing as well. Just Salazar already pushing through the bathroom, looking around here. This could go really badly for him really quickly either way. And Creation is going to get the info first, but over on the B bomb side, there is a push coming through from Intercaliber. So they're not going to be worried about that at all. Creation has managed to swing in behind the T's, but he's not going to be getting much damage done from here, and he's just going to go down as well. So even though they did invest in the deco, it kind of is going to hurt their buy into this round. Intercaliber make them pay for it and keep all 5 players alive.
Yeah, all things considered for Exdee, I mean, Creation, he's on 3.3k, and it does look like they're just going to go for another partial investment again. I completely agree with that. Overpass is one of those maps where you're more than happy to dump a molly over towards short tunnel, dumping 2 mollies towards playground, stuff like that to stop the early aggression and get that early damage down. That's exactly what they're going to fake out this round with those early molotovs towards those side of areas of the map, but they do have a 2-man underground setup, so there's going to be Bits and who's going to be the player who's going to be entertained. Question is, does Bitson get one and get out, or does he get fragged? But Kira, he's going to spot TJ jiggle peeking for some information, and Salazar's going to be in his own devices towards middle.
He picks up Beast, taking absolutely no damage. That molly is going to be really good as well because it's going to force BNY out of position. He's got to aggress up there, and he loses his life as well. Salazar getting 2 in middle, make that a 3rd, actually, as Bitten manages to take down Creation. And it looks like they're going for the B side again. This could become a little bit stale now, actually, going into the buy round, because they did a double save now, have Exdee Clubhouse, and like Intercaliber is pretty much only playing around B. Salazar did pick up 2 in mid, but they didn't use that to any avail in that area. They just carried on towards B. This might be a bit telling going into the 6th round.
Definitely might be, because it does seem like Intercaliber have found some sort of a weakness in the Exdee defense, and maybe Exdee are going to choose to go for some aggro plays. You know, if you can go up 5v4, then you don't really have to be going for these info peaks. You can sort of bunker in the bomb sites, play for that sort of info. But I mean, they have perched up the AWP. It is on Beast and it is over towards Long. So if he's not flashed off the angle, if he sticks around, he's going to be able to get all this info and possibly cheat a rotate over. Everyone loves it when you get some info towards some side of the map. You got a juicy flank going, you get that sort of info. It is just Creation who smoked off towards the front of bathrooms. The other players over towards B are bunkering in the bomb sites, as we said. But I mean, Intercaliber, they're just going to contact up bathrooms and see what they can get done.
Creation actually being quite wise here. He doesn't know what we can see, but was about to get himself surrounded there by T's. So good to draw back, just not give up that set of eyes and ears. There is a player lurking over towards B in the form of Kira, but probably going to be taken out by BNY, but gets the shot. BNY fluffs it. Too much Valorant, not enough CS, sir, and that's the price you pay. And Flasher gets himself one as well. Now it's just Beast left on the site. Teammates rotating in, trying to come in for the support. T's surrounding the bomb site now, pushing onto the front of it. Flasher getting the bomb down. 12 whole HP, almost goes down to a nade. There is a shot from KZR, which pulls one back. 3v4 as they go into the retake. KZR gets a second, but Flasher throws a good nade and takes down TJ. Now it's a 2-on-2. Actually, it's a 2-on-1. Flasher, as I'm saying that, gets another one. Actually, it's 3-on-1. Beast now just with the AWP. It might be time to save, sir, and he's still pushing in here. He is through the box as he manages to get Flasher sitting on the bomb side. He's got a jump spot, which is a good move, and he manages to pick up blank. This could be the big play. He's going for the simple play over here at the moment, and he decides against it. He's running out of time, and he's going to need to make his escape. If he doesn't get out of here soon, that bomb is going to claim his life, and it is still going to claim his life. Oof.
Unlucky. I don't know, but Intercaliber, they seem polished. They seem to know what they're doing. They're using these solo aggression plays, and I mean, at the end of the day, if Exdee hit those shots towards that player lurking towards bathrooms, then they pretty much win the round, because then the offense is completely stunted. You know, there's a player who lurked up short tunnel. He also got a frag. So Exdee, they just seem to be whiffing their shots, and Intercaliber, they're gonna take full advantage of that. They've posted 4 rounds without response, and they're looking polished coming into the real important buy rounds of the T side of Overpass.
Yeah, and they're building up a huge bank now after that. Even with that quite costly round on the buy. It's still not really dented. I mean, there's only one of them that's bottomed out. Kira's sitting on 9k, so they have got some bank to keep on doing this. But look at this push long. Beast and Co, they could be finding something. Beast does get one. Creation goes down, but that's a really nice trade for them. And they get another one in towards water, and it's now a 3v2 in favor of the CTs. They've got some recovered weaponry as well, and they're putting it to good use straight away. Beast manages to get one as well, and now it's just a one-on-one as Flasher trades it out. TJ and Flasher in this one-on-one now, and it looks like Flasher is going to be throwing a fake, but TJ's not buying it. He's going to make his way up on 8 HP by the looks of things. And Flasher actually heads back down, and TJ, has he called the bluff here? No, it's a brilliant smoke.
He has called the bluff.
Flasher.
He has called it. He's staying B. Flasher's completely overthought this. Flasher has completely overthought this, but the 8 HP of TJ, dude, I don't want to see someone get timing.
Does he check it though? This is the question. He does, and TJ gets him. TJ's first kill of the game is a cracker, puts himself on the scoreboard, and it steals a round away. There does Exdee.
I think Flasher completely overthought that. Like, he faked A. I mean, he threw that molly towards B to stop the rotate, which is nice. A good idea. But then, like, just go A. You know, like, you knew the guy was B, just go A. And then problem solved. And then if you smoke off dumpster, you got one problem area to clear. You can fake the bomb, see if he comes out, then plant the bomb. And then you can play a post plant towards bathrooms. I mean, but ultimately, got mad respect to TJ. He's not taking the bait. And as you said, his first kill of the map is going to be an extremely important one. He's going to get a 1D and call Flasher's bluff. And Flasher, after that, the confidence has to be shot. Because, I mean, you think you've made such a sick play. You think you had him. You think you had everything going your way. And then you just got outplayed.
100% Niix. That confidence factor, we'll see how it impacts them. That's their first one that they've lost in the last 5 rounds. And now they are going to be pushing up towards long over here. Creation has heard the man, though, and so Beast gets an easy AWP shot. Puts it into a 5v4. There are a number of T's towards the bottom area, but they're being heavily peppered with Util and Beast's AWP as he gets a wall bang. Absolutely smashes once bitten and now twice shy. 3 more T's are still pushing in here, though. This might be a bit too default. Beast is going to get a 3rd. He's up for the ace. Let's see if he can put away the last 2. They're going to be pushing into his gun. He's not going to be able to get it as BNY then cleans up the last 2. That was a little bit too default. You're losing players in that area. Just keep holding W. I can't say I like it very much.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you're... the point of a default is to deny information from the CTs, right? If you can deny the information successfully, then effectively all you can do is exec on a bomb site and trade out and win the round. What they did there is the default is perfectly fine. They didn't have information did the CTs. All they did was spam some shots through walls, and then it was misspacing for the Ts. So, I mean, the Ts, the default worked out perfectly fine. You got the info, but then just exec together. Beast, he's going to be having a field day once more. He's going to even leg Bitten down. He's going to go back for more. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. Creation's pushed to smoke. He's got 3. Bro!
Creation coming in from the after, absolutely shredding them. Like you said, picks himself up 3, goes from 1 to 7 for 4 for 7, a lot healthier. Gets his first sheriff's badge as well, which is nice to have. Beast on 15 for 4 right now, though. The AWP is absolutely destroying them. 177 ADR. It's just punishing CS right now. He played that to absolute perfection, though, I have to say. Drawing back constantly and then going for the angles, drawing back, changing up his angle constantly. But look at this push from TJ into the next round. They're just not letting Intercaliber rest. And now that pressure is coming out from Exdee. They've got some wind in their sails as they've picked up that AWP, and Beast has just shredded the Intercaliber roster the last 2 rounds.
Like that Exdee have just woken up. I don't know what's happened, but it seems like something has just clicked for them, because the first buy rounds, we weren't seeing this. We were seeing players getting picked off, players missing their shots, and now we're seeing the exact opposite. Sick opening coming out from TJ in this round. And 5v4, now you can chill. You can go for an information play in maybe about 25-30 seconds time and then cheat that rotates. But if you're chilling now, all you got to do is post the angles, make sure these Ts don't get free frags, and then you're going to be A for away coming into this. And we were speaking about how good the bank of Intercaliber was looking a couple rounds ago. It's the exact opposite. Things are running dry, and they're going to be eco after this one.
This will be 4 in a row if Exdee do manage to take it. And it's such a huge swing. They
Dude,
had
what?
some seemingly great momentum. Are you looking at the B shot? Is that what you were
Dude,
watching?
what is that?
Yeah,
The timing of that
I
was
saw
so
that.
weird, dude.
It looked crazy, but here comes a B shove as they go out of Monster. It's going to be Bitten and Blank who are going to receive first contact. There is the support in the form of Flasher coming in from Connector as well. There is a man over towards Oil that they haven't been able to clear yet. He's not going to get any damage as Flash does manage to take one down. KZR goes for a peek. He gets pretty good damage in, but now he manages to pick up the frag. Bomb dropped on the middle of the bomb site, but it's going to be cleaned up. Beast pulls in to support. KZR takes down Salazar, and they take their fourth in a row. So while there was a fourth in a row from Intercaliber, it did seem like they were going to gain some momentum. It seems like XD's just put a stop to that. They figured out the formula, and now they're applying the brakes.
It just seems like XD, as I said, like something's clicked. I don't know what's clicked, but something has just started to work for them, and they've just done it over and over again, and things are just going the way. It's going to be a B rush, and TJ is going to be farming. He's full white at those 6 damage. KZR is going to get 2 of his own, and now it's Flasher, Blank, and a half HP of Salazar having to enter in this bomb site. Things are going bad to worse. If you're into Caliber, KZR is going to get 4 eco frags as BNY finally gets the last. You know, it's never nice to hoggle the eco frags. And BNY saying he wants some of them. He wants some.
KZR though, once again, it just seems like Intercaliber is going to hold W, and I think what they've figured out is if they keep regression from cover point to cover point, they get easy shots as the guys are running out from Intercaliber. So they're now exploiting this, and to the tune of 5 in a row, it's now 7-4, and Exdee Clubhouse once again in the driving seat. They close out the other map 16-4. This looked like initially it was going to be a lot closer. And there's a good mid play coming out here from Intercaliber. They do manage to flash run up. Salazar gets creation, and TJ manages to get a trade. So it goes to 4v4, which definitely helps the T spread the CT just a little bit more thin. Maybe they should just take their time now, group up, and hit a site that's not B. So A.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've forfeited all this information, and if you're into Caliber, you got to understand that you have to take this information back, right? You got to make sure that there's not a player sitting behind enemy lines in a super advanced position in a way in which they can cheat to rotate over towards the B bomb site, because obviously it's the same thing. If you go 1-for-1 and there's still 3 players on B, then did you really go 1-for-1? You know, it's that sort of conversation. So they have decided to regress, have XD, they've chosen to rotate completely away. But again, there's going to be 3 players on this B bomb site. So into Caliber, they're going to have a real tough time on Segzek.
And they're going to push into the entirety of the CT team, who've started to dink out players. First one goes the way of Blank, into Caliber's way, but the next 2, KZR and Beast, chime in for 2. There is going to be a bomb plant, so at least they'll get that consolation prize. But here comes TJ on the flank. He comes through Connector and picks up the bomb planter. Now it's just one man left, Blank, who doesn't have enough HP. KZR closes out the round. He's just also suddenly dialed it up to 11. He's echoing his last map. He's looking at Beast's score, maybe with some envy, putting in the work.
Whatever you can do, I can do better, is what KZR is saying. So, I mean, 8-4 was the scores in the doors. And I mean, considering Intercaliber with 2-0 down, that we saw them go 4-2 up, we were like, oh my days, Intercaliber, they seem like a rehearsed team. They seem to have like a really good grasp of how to play overpass. But it just seems like ever since then, they've seemed to hit a brick wall. Things are just not going their way. They've lost 6 rounds on the trot, and none of the rounds have really been super close, which has come down to 1vx. Beast is going to open his accounts up for some more. He's going to get 1 frag in this round, and no trade is even going to go his way. And things just, Intercaliber, like they're just training up long. They're not even caring about this AWP.
But it might actually work out here. They're a little bit late on the CTs to pick this up. That this is happening. Creation does manage to get in position, but suddenly RC stop right before the goal, and they do a good pop flash, but it's not going to be good enough for Beast, as he's going to be able to get the kill. Salazar is on the site, and he has taken down Beast. It is a 2-on-4, and is going to be able to get the bomb in. There's no CTs really in position for this except for Creation, so the other 3 have to rotate in now off the B bomb site. The T's don't really have the best post-plant positions. It is planted for bathroom, and there is a player there. Salazar has big work to do here, and he's not going to be able to do it. Creation just coming in with a quick 2k3 for the round, and he manages to clean it up.
Can we roll the giveaway when Beast gets 20 kills?
I think we'll do exactly that, please, Mr. Production, sir.
I mean, if Beast doesn't get 20 kills for the rest of the game, then that's unlucky. It just happens. But I mean, the likelihood of him not getting 20 kills is like the likelihood of of me
Going to
making. Yeah, that's definitely what I was going for. Yeah.
You were doing some karaoke earlier, so now I'm just disappointed.
Dude, Avril Lavigne just hits the spot. I don't know what's happening, but I'm rolling back the years, and so is KZ. Oh, he's right out of retirement. He's feeling it. He's 15 for 8. And again, into Caliber, they try to make the short play. They're stopped behind a smoke and short tunnel. The flash is incoming. TJ's dodged it. He's got 1. He's got 2. And now it's Blank and Salazar's on a miss buy. I mean, Blank has got $2,000 in the bank with the Deagle, and things aren't looking too great. But I mean, everything's just going A for away for Exdee right now. They just seem to be having the time.
Yeah, and it seems like this is the comfort spot for Intercaliber, and now like XD have them read as if they were a grade 5 textbook, and it's just such a sick setup from them to secure this area so easily. TJ takes 20 hit points worth of damage, and they managed to pick up 3 kills. So it is going to be a slow push out here, but it's into BNY's gun, and he's going to get the first. He does get traded out, but Blank's just got a D. Can he get to the rifle? It's tantalizingly close, and he does manage to pick it up. Bomb is also just in front of him, but he's got so many CTs to contend with. They don't know where the bomb is now based on that shot from BNY, and Beast's got him trained from heaven. They actually can't quite see it. Blank might be walking into a bad spot here as he does. His creation manages to clean him up. 10-4 now. XD driving comfortably, it would seem, to a more than dominant half.
XD are on the N1. I was going to say Route 66, but you know, I'm not going to condone to Western culture. They're on the N1. They're chilling, vibing, maybe stuck in traffic because some people just seem to not know how to drive nowadays, but it is what it is. We won't talk about that. They're vibing, music loud, they're vibing, things going well, they're vibing, they're getting frags, they're vibing. And I mean, Intercaliber, they're not vibing. They're not vibing because they're getting shot through smoke. And no one likes to get shot through smoke.
Yeah, Intercaliber just seems like they don't have the depth in their playbook that they need for this kind of engagement yet. They can't get through on raw skill alone, and XD actually have some pretty good setups for a retired hashtag meme team. They still look pretty tight as a drum, and Intercaliber is now paying for it. They were a wild card entry into this, and this XD Clubhouse roster has done some big things before, making it into the top 10 quite comfortably. His creation picks up 1 in connector. He's going to get pressured now. That's the right response. Bitten manages to get the trade. Now it's a 4v4, and they've got a little bit of time. There's still a minute on the clock. They need to push in anyway, I would say, for at least the next 20 seconds before it gets too uncomfortable. And it looks like XD aren't taking any bait. They've got nice setup on B. They've got a fantastic setup on A. Beast is there with his AWP, and he's going to be able to pepper them if they do come out of this bathroom area. They really need to get a pick on this A side to make this happen. Let's see if they'll be able to do that with like next to no util. As the smoke goes in, they've got 1 smoke, 1 molly, and 1 flash left to make this happen, and it looks like it's already been called. The XD players already rotating over towards the bomb side. Here comes the hit, and it's not going to be good enough as Beast and BNY go absolutely ham, picking up 3 kills. TJ comes in from the after, and it's going to be an 11-4 half.
11-4 half, and I mean, Beast got 1 frag in the final round, so you know what that means, Reese? We're going to find out who wins this
giveaway.
We're going to find out who wins the shirt. So the question is, Nadine Moolman has won the giveaway. Nadine, if you're in chat, please let us know that you're in chat. Otherwise, unfortunately, we'll have to re-roll the giveaway. We'll give you until when? Until the end of this round? That's 2 minutes. Is that fair?
Yeah, Nadine, if you can just hit Mr. Nobody up in the chat, he'll give you his contact details. You can send him your email, and then we will get you a shirt in the appropriate size. We won't send you a tent. Unless you want that, of course. I mean, up to you. I'd rather you wore it out and not as a sleeping shirt, but hey,
different strokes
who am I
for
to
different
judge?
folks. Different strokes for different folks.
Getting into this round, XD have a good cruncher. They've got 2 towards bathrooms and 3 towards long. There is a player in position in the form of Blank who's going to get that info around. His trigger discipline was just too long, and KZR manages to pick one up. Salazar is coming in from the after now, but KZR is wise to their antics. Bitten looks like it's going to be the next casualty over on Intercaliber's end. Oh, there will be, and there's another one coming out from KZR. He's just going absolutely huge right now. TJ Creation chiming in for their ones, but he's pulled out now to 2nd spot. He's going to overtake Beast in like 2 more frags. He's obviously become more than jealous.
Yeah, I mean, Beast, we just rolled the giveaway because Beast got 20 frags. So of course KZR was like, no, Alex, no, I've had enough. I want the giveaway to be about me.
Well, getting back into the game, I've just noticed if we press tab and we check out the extra stats, Kira's got an ADR that matches Exdee, actually. Maybe it's a secret team switch that's going to happen later. You never know. But in this round, I don't think that Intercaliber have too much stock. They've forced a deco, which is maybe not the best. When you're 12-4 down, I think you're going to only want to start forcing from 13-4 at that point. It just makes a lot more sense to have a better buy than doing this right now. But let's see if they can put it to work. And Salazar is going to do just that. It takes off Creation's head. It is going to be a B push full of SMGs. Nice short range gunfights over here. Kira on the side is going to be able to pick one up. Not going to be able to get a second as BNY then makes quick work, and Beast holding the tail does manage to get Flash as Salazar comes in and takes down BNY and double dings TJ through the smoke. He's on 6 whole HP in the middle of the side, and it's not going to be enough as Blank now takes him out from heaven. Beast now in a 1-on-3. Just as I was saying, they didn't have any stock in this round. Beast with a 6 shot into heaven manages to get the 2-tap onto Blank. Now just 2 more CTs pushing through the connector. He's not going to win this round. Cost curse be damned. And Intercaliber do pick up the force just as well, because if they didn't, I mean, 1 in 5 HP, he almost won. Okay, very, very close. But if they didn't, this would have been over right then and there, pretty much.
Dude, I was like, after I saw Beast hit that first shot towards heaven, that lovely little 2-tap, I was like, no ways he loses, right? Well, sometimes when you see like a player's feeling it, if you're the CT side, you just got to be worried. But I mean, the spacing was good. The trade came out, and 1 in 5 HP is all you need, you know? I mean, if you're still 1 HP, you're still a man up, and you can still win the round or defuse the bomb, and that's exactly what happened. Salazar's pretty much the MVP of the previous, and he got God's work done. But now the question is, we saw Intercaliber have a decent rebuttal at the start of last half, and then they just fell into a wall. And the question is the same going to happen to Exdee? Will they win pistol, lose a couple rounds afterwards, lose the first gun round, and then have some sort of response? Or is it just going to snowball afterwards? I mean, if they win this round, then it's just going to be going from bad to worse for Intercaliber. So, I don't know, like, Bitten, does he go big? I don't know, hopefully for his sake. Beast fragged him, so, like, what?
And here comes the rotations from behind as they're trying to get this bomb down desperately. Oh, Exdee Clubhouse. The rotations come in thick and fast, but the pistols are doing huge damage here. They're just going to carry on cleaning up as they get guns, and now it's a 2-on-1. This shouldn't be the way things go into Caliber. You guys need to win these, and Exdee now making them pay. As it is that 2-on-1. Neither of these players have head armor. Not that it matters against the AK Flasher. Does manage to get the first, but Creation hits the shot as they come out there. KZR, did you see the drive-by?
I didn't, but I'm happy. Oh, with the CZ. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pocket AK. Like, oh, that's what you're so mad. Like when they got a pistol or an SMG, and you know the running accuracy is just so good. And you've got the rifle, and you know you have to sit still to make sure your bullets go where they're intended to. You just get so tilted, man. Like this, you just feel like you can't win. Can't win.
Intercaliber trying to win now with some heavy mid pressure as they manage to get really like sandwiched in between the T's. Yeah, this could be really awkward, and it starts off by being awkward with Creation going down and then Beast going down. TJ with 2 to make up. He's got to keep the bomb safe as well, because it's not in the best of positions. The CTs actually have a really nice line cut down the middle of the map here, but they're not putting it to effect just yet. And it's left Exdee in a position where they've been forced to rotate these players in. And Salazar, no trigger discipline. He does pick up 1. He's not going to be able to pick up the second for sure. BNY will definitely trade him out in that position, I'm sure. But it's suddenly a 2v3. What is going on with the save rounds right now?
I have no idea, but I mean, things are just going the way of Intercaliber in this one. But things were going the way, but now they're super split up. They do have a player over towards water. They have 2 players leaned over towards the A side. So Kira, if he doesn't get a frag, yeah, if he doesn't get anything and the B bomb site's going to be vacant, then it's pretty much going to be Exdee's round to lose. So Kira, he's holding a really aggro angle. If he misses this first shot, he's probably going to fall. Then you got full utility on both these Exdee players. But the question is, does he get cleared? he gets spotted and he doesn't get a frag. So now Exdee are now favors to win the round. Only armor behind Bitten, a smoke towards mid side means the bomb can get planted safely. And now if you're into Caliber, things started off so well. You got all that early info, but now things going bad to worse. Are they? No, they're not. Never mind. No, they're not.
Well, they get one player through the round. They do manage to win it. They almost lost that one flasher, and Bitten do make things happen. And just a note on that Kira moment there as well as sun's out, guns out, especially when you're in contact. Less QQ, more pew pew. It's basically the bullet point of that presentation. And Kira
I respect that. I'm gonna coin that. Less QQ, more pew pew. I'm a fan of that.
100 cement.
I QQ too much. I QQ way too much.
QQ
is
the enemy. Queuing is the enemy. It can often just put you in a really bad spot. You know, you had your knife out last for movement, and you queue from the AWP to that instead of pulling out the dig or keeping the AWP in hand and getting the kill. So this QQ more pew pew applies in swathes. And look at Beast. He's just having a good time right now. He's pulled out the Farmer John. The Nova is on the deck. He's gonna try and farm him some pigs.
Ooh, a lowest play coming out means the short take is going to be coming in from two sides of attack. So can these players do God's work? They can. Kira is going to get 2 and 4. Oh my days, Kira. Massive round coming out from him. We were speaking about the impact he needed to have in the previous. He turns up in this round and does God's work over towards short tunnel. And now it's only a 6-round difference. If you're the terrorist now, aka Exdee, you have the eco coming into this, so now you're looking at 13-8. If you win the buy round, 13-9, and then you're right back into the game. You can get double digits, and things are going to start going your way. But we spoke about the eco round that went into Caliber's way, so now we're just hoping that into Caliber can win out against this anti-eco.
There's some really good pressure through here mid, and Salasad, oh, the timing almost did him dirty. He gets stinked down to 14 HP. I'm sure Exdee would be happy with a couple of frags here. Beast will get the first. Now the AWP is going to retreat as it should, all the way back into the connector position. The damage is done, and there are 2 Ts left on the board. They do have a scout, at least. I want to say AWP, but there is a scout in an M4. And 1 smoke left, and they're going to boost over the top of the smoke here, but they're looking the wrong way. They actually could have got a frag over towards Bathroom in the form of Bitten. And actually, maybe this was the plan all along. The CT side does seem to be a little bit better at contains. They seem to be containing the T pressure right now pretty well, and all these force bars that Exdee are doing could be playing right into their hands right now. It's just creation left in a 1-on-4. I don't see him winning this with no armor, but he does a nice Ferrari peek out the middle. Blank doesn't see him. He goes right past. Is Blank aware? Okay, he does seem to be aware now. He is going to slowly peek out. He's missed the shot, and he almost creates an opening for creation. Just takes one to his shoulder, and then he does. He goes for the default from Divider. Bitten manages to clean him up, and they go 13-8, and there's no, well, it's T-side. So there is a full buy available now, at least full AKs for the Exdee team.
I mean, I saw a way in which Creation was going to win that round. I mean, Excalibur made it as easy as possible for him to have an avenue into winning it. They gave him the 1v1s, and he was going to scoop those up and eat those up for breakfast. And another expensive anti-eco going towards Intercaliber. Nice juicy nade, going to open things up. TJ's tagged down low. An aggressive long angle from Blank. It's going to open up the round, and there's no trade frag coming out. BNY, he's too scared to swing around the corner, which means Intercaliber, they're going to get the opening frag. And we're speaking about this 13-9 scoreline. And as soon as there's 4 rounds between you, and you can possibly get double digits if you're Intercaliber, you're going to be right back into the game. But it's still an uphill battle, and you still got to close this round out.
Yeah, Exdee, all of their hard work might come to a halt here, but like you say, first half, this was more or less the same storyline. 4 rounds, it did look like Intercaliber were in the driving seat. Now, Exdee with the pressure on them as they need to make something happen here and close out this map. Just 3 rounds in it, and they will be able to close it down. Creation getting in hot and heavy here with Salasad in the bathrooms. And Blank is going to swing out and get one of his own. KZR gets one long as he manages to take down Bitten. And Salasad is going to be able to take down Creation with the help of Blank. And it sets him up for a 2v4 with none of them tagged at all. So they're going to have to do considerable damage of the other players here. BNY managed to do a good sneak, and he gets himself two. Salazar and Blank get taken down. They get complacent as they get the advantage, and there's even more damage coming over towards the man. And KZR manages to sneak up behind Kira in somehow. I actually don't know even what happened there, and there's just one man left over towards Opti. They're going to double peek, but Flash is going to be able to clean them up.
The spacing on the double peak was just so poor. Like, you knew where he was. The flash was poor. The timing was poor. And Exdee, that round ebbed and flowed. It was in Excalibur's favor, then a sick double frag made it into Exdee's favor, then it's a 1v2 for Flasher, went back into Excalibur's favor. And like, oh my days, if you're Exdee, you got to be scratching your head at that one. Things just not going your way. Doesn't look like the round is live. Not live is the call. Not live is the call.
It seems they called attack pause, but Volvo said no. So consoles made this a dead round, and it will be restored. Going to take a second or two to do so. But much better from Intercaliber, all things considered. I mean, compared to the first map, which was a write-off at 16-4, they've more than doubled their round stake in this one. And 13-9 isn't a bad position. Like you said, it should be a 13-10. There's not much stock in this for Exdee. They've made a misbuy, it looks like, from KZR on his end, which... well, will be reset anyway. So they're going to go back to what, 3k 2k on their players, so definitely going to be at max at deco, and those haven't been going very well for them. It seems like Intercaliber's CT side is just a lot more polished than their T side attack. They really only had one major play towards B, and everything else was the same.
No,
I what has happened here? It seems like the wrong round has been loaded. I think Josh did a big one. I think nobody just did a big one, guys. A big flop. Josh, you mad lad?
dude, what? No, they just throwing the same round.
Well, Frosty is here, so he will be attending to the server issues. In the interim, we'll just go into podcast mode. Let's talk about BBD's new lineup now that it's been officially announced, Mr. Niix. EXE was in your camp now. He's gone Team Blue. Obviously, some residual hate there. Hopefully, not enough that you add him on Twitter every time he fluffs a shot. I mean, Aiden, like we were discussing it off air a little while ago. Like, he's a sick player. He's been a sick player for quite a long time.
I don't think there's in all honesty, there's zero animosity whatsoever between anyone from Royalty and Aiden, because I mean, if an organization like Bravado comes knocking, you don't want to hold any player back. You know, he's young, he's got so much ahead of him. His career's only just started. He had pretty much his come up year last year. We started performing at a high level against top teams. So if there's any ground for animosity, it won't be in this sort of scenario. So, I mean, pretty much, we wish everyone at Royalty pretty much wishes Aiden nothing but the best. Because honestly, like, he's such a talented kid. Like, he's the world is his oyster. I mean, if he puts in a lot of work for CS, then I mean, he'll be the best. You know, he'll be so good at what he does. So like, zero animosity whatsoever in that roster as well. Like Flexi, Wipeout, Detrini, and the man, lots and lots of firepower. Detrini's got abundance of experience. I mean that roster, like, they've got the groundwork, they've got the experience, they've got the firepower. Maybe they've only got the experience in two players. No, not even. They've got experience in a lot of them besides Wipeout and EXE. Pretty much, they've got experience, they've got firepower. I'm just interested to see, because Detrini's been out of the competitive scene for a pretty long time. I'll be interested to see how his calling is affected, how his calling changes. Is it malleable? Will it change to how it previously was in the old Bravado days? Is he willing to make changes like that? I don't know. I think it will be interesting to see how the whole roster seems to form. I think they are going to perform at a high level in South Africa. But if the plan is to move overseas, I don't know if it is. I assume it is going to be, because that was obviously like Project Destiny previously was the plan to move overseas. So if it is, it'll be interesting to see if Destiny changes his calling style, because obviously, like everyone speaks about in South Africa, you're not really punished. Your mistakes aren't really punished in South Africa like they are overseas and whatnot. So it'll be super interesting to see what happens in that team.
Well, it would be. I'd very much like to see them play. The top 4 teams in South Africa right now. Your ATKs and your DNMKs and your Goliaths, and see them sort of compete against that sort of level and see how they stack up with this team. Like you say, on paper, there's a lot of good things going for them. Wipeout and EXE are both super flicky, super quick kind of guys. They've both got a lot of good things going on there with aim and with a little bit of refinement and some good direction into their map presence. They'll do extremely well. The man, what else to say is there about the man? The pub star from the top of Face It, you know what I mean? He's that guy. And Flexi has been around for quite some time. And like you say, Destiny has like insane amounts of experience, because his first LAN he went to his first LAN at 13 years old, Nick. Because we also didn't really have like the best internet. I think at that sort of time, if you had 384k ADSL, you were like pretty pimping. 512k was for like the really rich people whose parents, had helicopter pads on their houses. So it wasn't really for the rest of us plebs kind of thing. So at that time, the lands and stuff were the only way to get in there. And I believe he would be about 25, 26 now, kind of thing. So he's got like 13 years worth of CSGO experience. And his brother Saint really doesn't need any introduction. He's built one of the most successful MGOs in the country. And like you said, that's why when the bravado call comes, you kind of go, yeah, this is the time. This is the place where, you can groom these youngsters into like really good roles. And I like the mix of members in their team. I just worry that there's maybe a little lacking of support play, right? Because every single one of these guys can frag out and have a big day. Who's going to throw the flashes? Who's going to throw the support util?
Yeah, I think that is going to be interesting to see, because all in all, we speak about like the team and we speak about the firepower that they have. Obviously, you can see like with the naked eye, like there's six players on that team. So it is definitely going to be interesting to see who does the quote-unquote dirty work. I know Wipeout's definitely going to be the player who's anchoring bomb sites, running into sites first, anchoring bomb sites on CT, and running into sites first on T. I do think Flexi's going to be that lurker more often than not. I think the man will probably be the guy throwing the flashes, even though it sounds a bit counterintuitive. I think him and Destiny will be the guys running further back in the pack, if you will. I think Destiny's picking up the AWP a lot often, so I think Destiny's going to be the guy throwing the flashes. He's going to be having the flash assists and the util and whatnot. So it is going to be interesting to see who's going to be the player who is going to A, do the dirty roles, and B, be the support roles, because like it's going to be, I don't know how the balance is going to come out. It'll be only time will tell, basically. At the end of the day, only time will tell.
It's going to be very interesting indeed. I kind of agree with you. I think that's generally going to be the thing. They're going to push forward the twitchy Wipeout and EXE and get them to do the dirty entry work, and then come from the after as the support and clean up is probably going to be the idea. And look, it's a really not a bad idea. But we are back. The match is live. We have restored the correct round. And we finally get back to the game between Intercaliber and Exdee Clubhouse. Where we left off, it was 13-9. And Intercaliber were making quite a comeback in this. They've won the last 4 rounds in a row. They've done so relatively expensively. They don't have much bank. So as soon as they trip, they are going to fall quite hard. And it's up to Exdee to extend the rope across the gantry of life.
Yeah, definitely. That's some analogy that you put up there, and I'm not going to be able to follow on with it at all. So I'm just going to say, in CS terms, if you're Intercaliber, make this as cheap as possible. If you're Exdee, make this as expensive as possible. And that's pretty much it. That's how they crumble cookies, and we're going to see how it goes. Both teams have readied, and the match is going to be live once more. It's going to be Intercaliber against Exdee. Prolonged wait for this round 23 matchup. We're going to see, can TJ and the boys battle it out and close out a 2-0 victory against Bitten and the boys? And only time will tell. Only time will tell. It looks like it's going to be a B rush on the pistols.
Yeah, and it's perhaps the most default sort of entry over here. They are going to get flashed up as they go through smoke, but it's not going to matter because Beast is going to be able to get the first kill. They carry on pushing through, and it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade, which is really good for them because they managed to pick up a rifle and get even more done as it's a 3-for-3 trade. This is not what you want if you're into Caliber. This has become more than expensive, and they're on the precipice of losing this round. Salaswat and Blank are the main who are going to need to make the things happen. Beast is lurking here in the water. If they don't clear this, it's going to go very badly, and it does. And he does it with 2 HP, and TJ manages to get a dink and another tap onto Blank as he swings out rather wide with an AWP versus pistol. Maybe not the best of plays, and that's exactly what Exdee needed to push themselves towards closing this. Perhaps the break, they discussed some things and figured something out because they managed to trade out really nicely with pistols versus rifles.
That's the first nail in Intercaliber's coffin. I mean, things were looking so well. You strung some rounds together. Things were looking like you were starting to become favorites into making the comeback, starting to make some really sick plays and win rounds. You know, we think about those solo plays, the 1v2 from Flasher, Salazar getting a couple multi-frags, and just like that, you lose to an eco, and now it's going to be 15-9 because XD's anti-ecos seem to be played out a lot more methodically, a lot more strategically than Intercalibers have been. So XD, they found themselves 2 men to the good already on this anti-eco, and they're just going to be grouping up, hitting a side together, trading out. And worst case scenario, there's going to be 3 players on this B bomb site. But if the spacing and the trading is good, you're still going to win the round. You're still going to be having 15 rounds on the board. And Intercaliber, they have one hell of a comeback to be had, if it is to be had, because it's going to be a hard one.
I don't know, Niix. I don't want to cast aspersions on them and send them the bad juju. I'd love to send energy for the Spirit Bomb, but at this point, I think that Exdee is stealing that energy for themselves. And I also think maybe shame they got a little bit cold with all that break time in between the round reset. You know, maybe they got a little bit cold and they had a rhythm and a tempo that they were in, and now they've exited that flow state. And unfortunately, it just seems like Exdee are able to pick up from where they left off that much easier. They've done this round extremely cleanly. A whole 23 damage onto BNY, 24 damage so far onto BNY. Flasher is going to get some damage in towards creation. Might cost him his life, and it will. So they do get one to the bomb, which is nice. Does he go out and pick up the AK? No, he didn't. Did he?
No,
he
wasn't able
he didn't
to
steal
get
the
it,
AK. Oh. So that would have been a nice pickup for them. But now they're facing the match point. They're going to have to force, and it's going to be messy. A couple of MP9s coming out.
Yeah, this is going to be a real tough round. And Beast is an absolutely unreal game. He's 28-11. And again, Intercaliber are going to go for this 3-man alien, which is something that they had success with previously. But this round pretty much comes down to the opening duels. And the aforementioned Beast, the man who is having an absolutely fantastic game, is going to take out Blank. And just like that, Intercaliber, you find yourself losing an eco, losing the round afterwards. And if you do lose the round after you lost the eco, you're going to be on the end of a 69 scoreline. BNY has had some lead into his head. He's down to 2 HP. But again, still 5-man up for Exdee. And Intercaliber, they need some hell of a response in this round if they want to make some sort of a comeback on Overpass.
Let's see if they can do it. Kira's going to walk into the peak, and it's going to be to his detriment as KZR does then take him down. It's a 3v5 now. They've got basically no util, very little armor and stuff to work with, as there is another kill going the way of Bits. And Salazar and Flasher managed to pick up 2, and Flasher catches out Beast as he's standing there with util, and he manages to get the bomb. It's a 2v2, and they've got advantage on the objective. There are players pushing in from either side. TJ and KZR are probably going to try and time the peek, and TJ doesn't need any of that. He closes out proceedings with a quick 2K. Really nice sharp work there from him. And Exdee Clubhouse 69 move on with a 2-0. Not dramaless though. I mean, after the first map, you were even doing some matchmaking casting because of what was going on, and it was incredibly one-sided, to be fair, at that point in time. So fair is fair, but this was a lot closer. 16-9. I mean, without that break, it probably could have been a 16-10, 16-11 at worst, I think, if they hadn't had to go through that. But you know, at the end of the day, the best team wins. You know, it's at the end of the day, in these kind of environments, everybody's got to go through the same trials and hardships equally in this environment, and they just couldn't rise to the occasion.
I think something that Intercaliber can take back from this game is you can Inferno, right? I mean, 16-4 score line. you didn't have really any success. One thing I would say on Inferno is you got to work on that re-aggression. You know, you can't just be sitting on the bomb sites in a 5v5 when you don't have info. You have to re-aggress N1 and N2, get that information. You have to re-aggress Banana so that you make sure you can cheat that rotate over. Because obviously, if there's 3 players on A, it's still technically a 5v3, right? If there's 2 players on B, it's still technically a 5v2. You got to be able to cheat those rotates over, get that information. On Overpass, I think the foundations are there. We saw really, really good stuff coming out from them. Not so much on the T side. They had a good couple rounds where they found some success. But then I think Exdee just found their number. But on the CT side, we saw some really good stuff. Taking water control, winning the early duels, activating with that AWP, taking fights over towards long. Things were going really well for them. And unfortunately, just Exdee, they just seem to find their momentum later on in the half and ultimately won out the series 16-4 and 16-9. And as you said, just today, the better team won and Exdee advanced in the bracket, which means they'll face... Who will they face? Orgless Kata or will they face Royalty? Because it does look like the bracket has changed, which confuses me a bit.
Let me go check it for you quickly. But just on another note, Orgless Kata are now
Wide
WG.
Rapid Gaming, yeah.
Yeah, so they are no longer Orgless or Ogurless, as our designer had labeled them. They're now the WG team. So moving forward from here, it will be Orgless Cutter that they will have to face off against or the new WG team, and that's going to be a tough one. That's not an easy match either. We will have Nibble Conspire and Damage Control later in the week, and they'll face off against Ikasi, which is also going to be a pretty tough match for either of those teams, especially considering how Ikasi took down Damage Control. You know, previously, I think it's going to be, they'll feel like that will be a walk in the park. So whoever gets through there, if it is narrowly, then it's going to be a real tough one against Ikasi. Then there's going to be Royalty versus either Instinct or Crimson Knights. And then Exdee did actually disband. So we've got Zion Esports and Meme GG to round out that bracket, which will go live next week. But that is going to be all we have for you this evening. Thank you all so much for your support. Sorry for the issues. I'll smack Josh in the back of the hand and make sure he gets his commands right next time. Mr. Niix, any final thoughts before we sign off?
I'm just saying, Oaks, we still got some banging Counter-Strike coming in the coming weeks. We've got some sick teams playing with the best teams in the country up against one another, but obviously only time will tell. So the way you understand and the way you know and the way you can keep up to date with everything that's going on with the Evesports channel, you can subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then you'll know when we're live every Tuesday and Thursday, subject to change, obviously. But pretty much every Tuesday and Thursday, and the way you can find that out, what games are getting streamed at what time, is going to be by following Evesports on Twitter. You can keep up to date with everything on that. But otherwise, that's been it from us tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed. Reese, any final words?
No, I am especially spent. I'm glad I could come and save you, Mr. Niix. It's been actually such a pleasure to cast full East Rand cast today, and we didn't stab anybody, so I'm proud of us. Thank you all.
Could be worse, right? Could be worse.
It could be, exactly. You know, East Rand is in the house. That's how we are known to get down. But anyway, thank you once again, everybody, for your support. We will see you again on Thursday. Hopefully, Matt's internet won't die like Jacob Zuma reading a 6-digit number. Until next time, see you on the flip side.